What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today we're going to talk about, well, we're going to be talking about two main things, and basically the first thing we're going to talk about is microtransactions, and the second thing we're going to be talking about is kind of like my ideas of what I think should actually be added as microtransactions. Now, you guys probably don't know, but I made a video, like in November or something like that, about this event. Basically, this was right whenever Siege of Orgrimmar came out, or I don't know, about right when the Iron Skyreaver came out. It was the Chimera mount, and it pretty much made me hit my enrage timer. I was pretty mad, and basically the reason I'm pissed, I made a video about it, and I think it got like 400 views. Just completely nobody gave a fuck about this video, and so I'm not going to give you guys a link to it because the video probably sucked or people would have watched it. And so I'm going to give you guys just like the very, very short condensed version of why I'm mad about it, and so you guys can see where I'm coming from. So then when I talk about the microtransactions, you guys will know why. Basically, like the Iron Skyreaver, if you guys haven't seen it, I'm not gonna be in this video. You guys fucking know that already, but I'm just gonna put it up on a screen, and I'll show you guys what it looks like, and compare it to the spawn of Galacrass. Now, the Iron Skyreaver is a brand new Chimera mount with, unique movement and just like all these different things. It has like these like moving like cauldrons of fire coming out of it. I mean, it's just badass in every single degree. And the spawn of Galacrass is a reskin Proto-Drake. Okay, and so let me ask you guys something. What would you spend $25 on? Would you spend $25 on a reskin Proto-Drake, or would you spend $25 on like a brand new Chimera mount with all these new like movement things and just all like the cauldrons on it? It just looks fucking awesome. I mean, there's not even a question. Like 9 out of 10 people would buy the Chimera, and I really think that that's like really disingenuous to the players because the spawn of Galacrass mount is, in my opinion, it's kind of shitty. It's okay, but it's definitely not as good as the Iron Skyreaver. And I don't really think it's a coincidence that the Iron Skyreaver shares basically the same design theories and color schemes and everything as the spawn of Galacrass in a lot of ways, and a lot of other Siege of Orgrimmar things. And so that leads me to think that basically they were developed at the same time. And one mount was developed for the store, basically, and one mount was developed for the game. And so basically, for the game that you pay $15 a month for, you're given a reskin model of something that was made in 2008 for completing the hardest set of achievements in a game. And if you give them $25, though, they're going to give you the brand new, completely redone Chimera mount that's never been seen in the game with a completely new skeleton and everything like that. Now, people are saying that, oh, Warcraft has become less rewarding. Well, it's things like this that make it that way, in my opinion. I really fucking hate it, and honestly, I really hope it stops. Like, I just saw, like, they came out with this new Sylphid mount, and I don't remember what it's called. It's called, like, the Grinning, I don't know, it's like a Draenei's head on it or something like that, and I swear to fucking God, if that thing is in a store, I'm gonna stab a fork in my arm. Like, I'm gonna be so mad, and I'm not even kidding, by the way. I'm not even kidding. I've done it before. I've done it twice, okay? Third time is the charm. Maybe something will happen this time. There's nothing happened the other two times except for it hurt. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. Now we can talk about the microtransactions so you guys can see why I'm pissed. Okay. Now, I'm not really a big fan of microtransactions, honestly. And but at the same time, yeah, I mean, I can see why companies need to do it. I think as a subscription game, I think that the microtransactions should be based around services rather than items. And one thing that I really like about World of Warcraft is basically you get what you put into it. Like, you can't buy gold. Well, you can, but I mean, like, you can't buy carries. Like, and again, you can, but in a lot of ways they are either looked down upon or they're just straight up against the rules. Like, you can't buy gold. That's against the terms of service. And so if you're caught doing that, you'll get banned. The essence of the game is that you get out of it what you put into it, and I really like that. Like, that's why I play this game. That's why I don't play one of those bullshit Korean free to play MMO pay to win games. Like, I don't have time for that. I don't That's kind of stupid because, I obviously have plenty of time for WoW. I just don't like to play those games. Anyway, I think that there are some microtransactions that could be viable, that could be useful, and I think they could help a lot of people. The first one is extra tabs of void storage. Who the fuck would not want to buy another tab of void storage? Like, I would love to, alright, if they added, let's say, alright, tomorrow, they say, yo, you can buy another tab of void storage for $10. I don't know how much money I have in my bank account, but it would be in the single digits. Well, yo, don't even get, I'm going to be spending a lot of money. I got, $20 in my bank account. So, that'd be 2 tabs. But either way, I'd be spending, some serious money on getting some tabs because I love to play dress up, transmog. It would be great. And the reason I say void storage and not a bank or inventory space is void storage saves an item ID. That's why it doesn't save your player modifications. So basically, it doesn't save reforges, gems, enchants, or anything like that, or existing transmogs. Obviously, that's going to make the void storage, server storage, a lot easier for Blizzard to maintain. It's going to take up a lot less memory because it's just taking one set of item information. It's saying, you have this item ID, and then it displays the picture. And so obviously, it's going to be a lot easier for them to kind of, store all of your stuff, and it would be cheaper for them. Basically, that's what it comes down to. That's not the only thing. I have 5 of these things, and the other one I have is basically bundled server transfers. And if anybody is a serious player and they've just been accepted to a new guild or anything like that, they probably have had this problem. I had this problem in 2000 and was it fucking 9 or 10 or whatever. And whenever I came over to Kel'Thuzad, basically before I was in Kel'Thuzad, I was on the server Thrall. And at that time, I had been playing for I think 4 years or something like that. Yeah, since 2006. And so I had amassed, and then I didn't have a job, and so I had all kinds of level 80s. I had plenty of level 80s. I think I had 8 level 80s, and there's no way I'm going to spend $200 to transfer those level 80s. And so I let half of them rot. Half of them are rotting over there on Thrall, and their old TOC, ghetto gear, and I don't even play those anymore. And it was really frustrating for me because I wasn't able to transfer all those over because I didn't have much money. However, I spent I think $50 on transfers. If there was an option for me to spend, let's say, $75 on transferring all characters over, I would have transferred all of my characters over, and Blizzard would have gotten more money, and I would have gotten what I wanted. I don't really see why this isn't a thing. I know that there's obviously the issue of transferring over gold, but that's obviously something that's very easy to fix to begin with. And so I'm not even really going to go into how that could be prevented. But I really think that bundled server transfers really need to happen, especially with how some realms are dying. And the next thing is character slots. Now, if you guys don't know, well, everybody fucking knows this. You log on, and you see your character screen every day. You can only have 11 slots on your character, on one server, excuse me, and you can only have 50 character slots total on an account. And so, let's say. For me, I have all of my character slots filled, and I would probably have 2 more character slots if possible. I don't have a hunter. I was thinking about transferring over my hunter, and I'm not going to be able to without having to delete something because I already have all my character slots. If I was able to purchase another character slot on Kel'Thuzad, I would do so. And I would probably pay $20 or $25 for that, and I think a lot of people would. And, a lot of you guys are thinking, oh, this is kind of just, I don't know, things for people who play the game a lot. Well, no fucking shit. If any of you guys have taken, a marketing class or, a business class or anything like that, you may be familiar with the 80-20 rule. And basically what that says is that you're going to get 80% of your business from only 20% of your consumers. And so, we're talking about I definitely am part of that top 20% of those no-life neckbeards, sitting here drinking Mountain Dew, wiping Cheetos on my nipples, just playing this game all day, just trying to give Blizzard my money. I'm just trying to give them my money, but I'm not going to give them my money for a fucking mount. I would love to give them my money for these services. I want this to happen. And I think you guys need to realize that. I don't really like microtransactions, but I would pay for these services because these are a service that Blizzard gives you, that Blizzard would hypothetically give you for something above and beyond what was in your original service contract. And so I would absolutely love that. But I digress. Let's go to number 4. Part of these, no life neckbeards, people who have more friends on Real ID than they have on Facebook. And I actually I would have that, but Real ID only caps at 100. And a lot of you guys might not know this. You might not be internet social butterflies, such as myself. But let me tell you, it only caps at 100. And that really wasn't much of an issue for quite a while, except for at the beginning of Cataclysm, I started doing these ICC runs. And I needed to keep track of all these people. And I filled up my Real ID list in like 2 weeks of just like all these people who want to do ICC with me all the time, because everyone wants to do it for Transmog, and then Invincible, which I ninja'd. I got him. But anyway, sorry, I was just thinking about that. That was a good day. I don't remember what day it was exactly though. Anyway, a lot of these people added me to Real ID, and I actually didn't even know that there was a cap. I had no idea there was a cap. Until finally, I realized that people are trying to add me, like, Asmongold, you're not accepting my friend request. Do you not like me? Do you not want me to be in the group? Just tell me. Just tell me. And, like, I'm like, yo, man, like, I don't know. And so it's like, I feel like one of those girls that doesn't text people back and won't tell them that she's not interested. But, I mean, like, that's not how I roll. I'm a man. I don't do things like that. And I was like, I would love to have, like, a 2, 3, 4, 500 character slot list, and I would totally pay extra money for that, because again, I'm using up more of the server bandwidth or whatever to do more stuff. And as I said before, like especially now with like this whole battle tag thing, like Real ID was originally just supposed to be for for me to like, like the first people I added were like my friend Cora and like her and I don't know, like some of the rest of my like old guild friends, and my mom and some of my real life friends, my boy Eric, my boy Zach, my boy Jeff, I can go on. And so I didn't really have too much of a problem with it. I only had like, 30 or 40 Real ID friends. But now, with Battletag, and this whole like cross server thing, like you're dealing with people who are across servers all the time. Just literally all the time. And it's becoming such an issue, and you can only have 100 people on your list. And I think it's absolutely, like, it's very limiting. Like, I always have to delete people, and I always feel bad about it. Like, there are a lot of people that I don't want to delete, and I have to delete them because they never log on. But I like them, but I just don't, I can't, like, have them holding up a slot, and it just really sucks. Like, if I could buy, like, 50 or 100 more slots for my character, and also, well, let me finish my thought. I would totally do it. I would probably buy up to about 500 slots, and maybe even more than that, but honestly, that would be a lot of Real ID broadcast updates from people who are thinking that Real ID is Twitter. It is not, by the way. Anyway, and I also do recruitment for a 25-man heroic raiding guild, and so I have all kinds of people come up to me, and like, I have to have my Real ID list, at least a couple slots open every day, because if somebody wants to add me, like, I'm like the main recruitment officer, and so like I have to juggle between like all these people who I do raids with normally, like my real life friends, like my internet girlfriends, and just like all kinds of other stuff, and it just really kind of gets overwhelming, and it wouldn't be as overwhelming if I could just put them all into one thing. Like as I said, 500 slots. That would be great. Now, my last idea. Now you guys are probably gonna get mad. Y'all gonna be like, "Well, no, he didn't." But for real though, I think there should be an experience potion. Now, I know this was data mined quite a while ago in the Korean files, and basically Koreans play WoW under a different paradigm than we do. And so this made a lot more sense for them. But recently they introduced the $60 booster character up to level 98, and you don't have to do anything, and we give you gear, and we give you 500 gold, and some new bags, this, that, and the other thing. And, that's nice. Like, I got a priest that way, and I'm happy. But the problem that I see there is that, like, World of Warcraft is an MMO. And, oh, by the way, one thing I want to say, I do agree with the level 90 transfer, or the level 90 boost. I used to not agree with it. I changed my thinking. I do agree with it. I think it's important. But what I was going to say is World of Warcraft is an MMO. And MMOs need that leveling process for people to kind of fall in love with the environment, fall in love with the world, like watch their character progress. I think it's really kind of shitty that now you can just sit in town and like my boy Austin was telling me that his shaman is like level like I don't know 86 or something like that when he was telling me his shaman never left town. He literally just queued dungeons and got to level 86. Now I don't really think that's much of an MMO. I don't really like that whole idea. And if there was some kind of way that you could kind of buy an experience potion that you could use on all your characters, you know, and let's say it only takes you up to like, let's say level 90, obviously not to level 100 because then everybody have to buy it to do the new content. It's the same thing like the Elixir of Ancient Knowledge from Kroll the Blade. And you're able to just pretty much use this as many times as you want on all your characters. And so you could kind of fast track the leveling process, like a super heirlooms, you know, heirlooms on steroids. And I mean, I think that would be really nice. Like, I would definitely buy one of those. And it might even prompt me to level up some new characters just to have fun with it. I do like the whole leveling process, and I wish they'd make a leveling in-game, but I'm going to save that for another time. Anyway, those are kind of like my top five main, I don't know, like microtransactions that they could add. Man, like, if they could add those and cut it out with this mount bullshit, like, I would just be so happy. I really don't like the idea of the mounts because every time they add a mount into the store, they don't add it into the game. How many people do you guys see doing ZG every day? It's kind of a lot. And how many people do you guys see doing Utgard Pinnacle every day for the Blue Prototype? Now, go downstairs, below Utgard Pinnacle, how many people do you see doing Utgard Keep? Fucking zero. Nobody's doing Utgard Keep. There's no reason to. And so people, like all this content that Blizzard has put so much time into, like Utgard Keep is very well designed. It's amazing. I love that zone, or you know, whatever dungeon. And nobody gives a fuck about it because there's no reason to go back there. And people are going to feel the same way about all these Cataclysm instances, Mists of Pandaria instances. And, you know, whenever Worlds of Draenor comes out, they're just going to be forgotten. There's going to be no reason to go back and do them. And I find that kind of disappointing. Mists of Pandaria hasn't been my favorite expansion ever, but at the same time, I think there are some really good things about it. And I think it's kind of sucky that, you know, we're just kind of all going to forget about that because there's really not going to be much incentive to ever go back to those places. I know a game called Path of Exile. I don't know if you guys have played it before, but Path of Exile used a lot of these ideas that I'm talking about, and was kind of the inspiration for the extra void storage idea. And I think the same with the character slot. I think you can buy into the character slot, Path of Exile too. And I think this whole idea of the ethical microtransactions is, you know, really kind of gonna, I don't know, it's going to help Path of Exile a lot. Like, I mean, they're still around as an indie game developer, and, you know, I think a lot of that is because they're able to kind of fund themselves through these microtransactions. And, I mean, Blizzard obviously has a whole lot of money, but, you know, I wouldn't mind giving them a little bit more if they could do a little bit extra for me in terms of the, you know, maybe a little bit extra, you know, bundled server transfers or, you know, extra void storage tabs for my dressing up all my characters, I mean, transmogging them. And, you know, same with all the other stuff that I talked about. Anyway, if you guys agree, let me know. But more importantly, let Blizzard know. If you guys think I'm a fucking idiot and you know, there should be no microtransactions in a while, that's fine. Like, I'm not mad. But anyway, either way, let me know. But thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe.